If you're over 60, here's something most people get wrong every single morning. They think a big glass of plain water is the healthiest choice. But for many older adults, it's not enough. And sometimes it can even leave you feeling more tired, more dizzy, and still dehydrated. That's because after 60, your thirst signal gets weaker. Your kidneys don't conserve water as efficiently, and your body's balance of sodium, potassium, and fluids becomes more sensitive, especially if you take blood pressure meds, diuretics, or have heart or kidney issues. So the goal isn't to stop drinking water, it's to stop drinking only water and start hydrating smarter, with drinks that actually help your cells hold on to fluid, support circulation, and give your body the minerals it uses to keep your heart rhythm steady, your brain sharp, and your energy stable. Today, I'll show you 7 simple drinks you can add, starting now, how to use each one safely, and which ones to avoid if you have certain conditions. And we're keeping this practical. No expensive supplements, no complicated recipes, just what works. One more important note before we start. This is not medical advice. And if you have heart failure, kidney disease, or you're on fluid restrictions, you should follow your clinician's guidance. Because some healthy drinks can be wrong for you. Okay, drink number 1 is the easiest upgrade from plain water, and it's the one that fixes the most common hydration mistake after 60, mineral water or a light electrolyte drink. Because hydration isn't just liquid, it's liquid plus minerals. When you drink plain water alone, especially a lot at once, it can dilute electrolytes, and your body may just flush it out quickly. Which is why some people notice they're running to the bathroom but still feel dry mouth, fatigue, or leg cramps. A smart electrolyte drink doesn't have to be sugary or sports branded. The simplest version is water, plus a pinch of salt and a squeeze of lemon, or an unsweetened electrolyte packet with low sugar. The reason this helps is that sodium and glucose in small amounts can improve absorption in the gut, and potassium supports muscle and nerve function, including the heart's electrical system. The rule is simple: keep it light, not salty like soup, and use it strategically. Like first thing in the morning after a walk, or if you tend to get headaches or lightheadedness. If you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, kidney disease, or you're told to limit sodium, you need to be careful with added salt and choose a low sodium option. But for many seniors, this one change alone can reduce that I drank water but I still feel off feeling. Now, drink number 2 is a powerful heart support option that also helps blood vessel function. And it's one you can actually enjoy, hot or cold: green tea. Green tea is special because it hydrates you while delivering natural compounds called catechins, including EGCG, that have been linked to better blood vessel function and healthier cholesterol patterns in many studies. For seniors, the practical win is this: better circulation can mean warmer hands and feet, steadier energy, and less of that sluggish after-breakfast feeling. But you have to do it the right way. If you're sensitive to caffeine or you take certain heart rhythm medications, you don't want a giant, super strong cup on an empty stomach. Instead, aim for a mild brew or choose decaf green tea and have it with or after a small bite of food. If you're on blood thinners, you should keep your intake consistent rather than suddenly doubling it. Because consistency matters more than perfection. And a quick taste upgrade that also supports blood sugar is adding cinnamon's just a small pinch, because it can make it easier to drink without sugar. Drink number 3 is one of the most underrated for older adults because it supports the gut, and your gut is directly connected to inflammation, immunity, and even mood. Kefir, or a live culture yogurt drink. After 60, digestion often slows down, stomach acid can be lower, and many people take medications that change the gut environment. That can lead to bloating, irregular bowel movements, and poor absorption of nutrients like B12 and magnesium. Kefir brings fluid plus protein plus probiotics, which can help support a healthier gut microbiome. The key is portion and tolerance. Start small, half a cuppy, because if your gut isn't used to fermented foods, going too big can cause gas at first. If you're lactose sensitive, many people tolerate kefir better than milk, but if not, use lactose-free kefir. If you have diabetes, check the label and avoid versions with added sugar. Plain is best, and you can sweeten it naturally with a few berries. And here's the senior hack. Kefir in the afternoon can reduce cravings at night because the protein helps you feel steady, not spiky. Drink number 4 is a heart-friendly option that also helps with gentle blood pressure support and circulation, but only if you do it safely. Beet juice, or even better for most people, a diluted beet drink. Beets are rich in dietary nitrates, which your body can convert into nitric oxide, a molecule that helps blood vessels relax, that can support healthier blood pressure and better blood flow. For seniors, this sometimes shows up as improved walking endurance and less tightness during activity. But beet juice is strong, and it can be high in natural sugar, so the move is dilution. A small amount of beet juice mixed with water, or blending a small cooked beet into a smoothie with extra fiber, like chia seeds. If you have kidney stones or high oxalate issues, beets may not be ideal. And if your blood pressure already runs low, or you get dizzy standing up, you want to test this carefully. Because improving vessel relaxation can make lightheadedness worse in some people. Drink number 5 is the comfort drink that can quietly improve sleep quality and inflammation, which matters for heart health more than most people realize. Tart cherry juice again, diluted and used like a tool, not a dessert. Tart cherries contain anthocyanins and natural melatonin-related compounds that have been studied for sleep and recovery. Better sleep can mean better blood pressure the next day and better appetite control, which protects the heart long-term. The safe way to use it is a small splash in water an hour or two before bed. If you have diabetes, you need to be extra careful and keep it tiny or choose a low-sugar version, because you don't want a glucose spike at night. But for many seniors who wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep, this can be a simple, gentle option. Drink number 6 is often ignored because it sounds too simple, but it's one of the best daily drinks for older adults who want steady energy and calmer digestion. Ginger tea. Ginger can support digestion by helping the stomach empty more smoothly, and it has anti-inflammatory properties that may help with joint stiffness and nausea. For people who feel bloated after meals or get that heavy feeling in the chest, that's actually indigestion. Warm ginger tea after lunch can be a game changer. You don't need a fancy product. Fresh ginger slices steeped in hot water works. Just be careful if you're on blood thinners or you bruise easily. Keep it moderate and consistent, not extreme. And finally, drink number 7 is the one that most people either overdo or do wrong. But when used correctly, it's a powerful nutrient delivery drink after 60. A simple protein smoothie, not a sugary milkshake. As we age, we naturally lose muscle. And muscle is one of the biggest protectors of glucose control, balance, and long-term independence. A protein smoothie helps you hydrate and deliver protein in a form that's easy to digest, especially if you don't feel like eating in the morning. The formula is simple. Liquid base like water or unsweetened milk, a protein source like Greek yogurt or a scoop of a trusted protein powder. Fiber like chia or flax, and a small amount of fruit like berries. Keep it low sugar because the goal is stable blood sugar, not a spike and crash. If you have kidney disease, you should confirm protein targets with your clinician. But for many seniors, getting enough protein is actually the missing piece that improves energy and reduces frailty over time. Now, before you pick your favorites, here's the most important part: how to choose the right drinks for your body. Because the best drink depends on your meds, your blood pressure pattern, your blood sugar, and your digestion. If you're on diuretics or you cramp easily, the electrolyte option moves to the top. If sleep is your biggest issue, Tart cherry becomes your tool. If digestion is the problem, kefir and ginger are your daily basics. And if energy and strength are slipping, the protein smoothie is the foundation. In the next part, I'll give you a simple daily schedule for these drinks: morning, afternoon, and evening, plus the 3 drinks you should be careful with after 60 because they quietly dehydrate you or spike your blood pressure without you realizing it. The first drink to be careful with after 60 is alcohol. And I'm not saying you can never enjoy a glass, but you need to understand why it hits older bodies harder. Alcohol acts like a diuretic, meaning it makes you lose fluid. And it can also disturb sleep, raise blood pressure in some people, and increase the risk of irregular heart rhythms, especially if you're already prone to palpitations. The tricky part is that it can feel relaxing in the moment, so you don't notice the dehydration until the next morning when you wake up with dry mouth, headache, or a racing heart, and then you chase it with plain water and still don't feel normal. If you drink at all, the safer rule is keep it small. Don't drink close to bedtime, and pair it with a full glass of water plus a mineral-rich snack, not just chips. The second drink people think is healthy but can quietly spike blood pressure is sugary coffee drinks and strong coffee on an empty stomach. Because caffeine isn't the villain, the dose and timing are. After 60, stress hormones can run higher in the morning, and a strong coffee can push your heart rate up, raise blood pressure temporarily, and trigger anxiety-like symptoms that feel like I'm just getting old when it's really a stimulant crash. If you love coffee, the fix isn't quitting. It's adjusting. Have it after breakfast, make it weaker, choose half-calf, and skip the syrups and whipped cream that turn it into a sugar bomb. The third drink to watch is healthy fruit juice, especially orange juice, apple juice, and blends that are basically liquid sugar. Juice can cause a fast glucose spike, and that spike increases inflammation and can worsen blood pressure and triglycerides over time. For seniors, this is huge because it also increases dehydration risk by pulling water into the gut and making you feel thirsty again later, creating this cycle where you drink more but still feel dry and tired. If you want fruit flavor, dilute juice heavily, or better, eat the fruit and drink water or tea. Now let's build a simple daily schedule that makes this effortless. Because the problem isn't knowing what's healthy. The problem is remembering what to drink when you're busy and not overdoing anything. Here's the 3-window plan: morning, midday, and evening. In the morning, your goal is to rehydrate and stabilize blood pressure and energy. So start with the easiest foundation: a light electrolyte drink or mineral water, especially if you wake up with dry mouth, leg cramps, or you feel lightheaded when you stand up. Give it 10 to 15 minutes, and then have either green tea or coffee after a small breakfast, not before, to avoid that jittery spike. If constipation is an issue, this is where a warm drink can help. Warm water with lemon, ginger tea, or even just warm mineral water, because warmth can stimulate the gut more than cold water. Midday is where most seniors unknowingly get dehydrated because they're moving around, doing errands, maybe taking medications, and they forget to drink until they feel off. So midday is your steady hydration window. Plain water is fine here, but pairing it with something that supports digestion and nutrients is better. This is the perfect time for kefir or a yogurt drink, especially if you tend to get bloated or you feel tired after lunch. If your goal is circulation and stamina, and your blood pressure isn't running low, you can use a small diluted beet drink earlier in the day, like late morning or early afternoon, and then pay attention to how you feel when you stand up. Evening is where we focus on sleep quality, recovery, and not waking up to pee all night. The mistake is chugging a huge amount of liquid at night, then wondering why sleep is broken. Instead, do small, strategic sips. If sleep is your issue, a small amount of diluted Tart cherry drink 1 to 2 hours before bed can be useful. If your issue is hunger cravings at night, a small protein smoothie in the late afternoon or early evening can help stabilize appetite and keep blood sugar steady, which reduces nighttime wake-ups for many people. And if reflux is your issue, keep acidic drinks earlier in the day. Avoid peppermint tea at night because it can relax the valve and worsen reflux, and stick to ginger or warm water. Now, let's make this even safer by matching drinks to the most common health situations after 60, because this is where people get confused. If you have high blood pressure, your best friends are unsweetened green tea, ginger tea, and mineral water, and your caution zone is high sugar drinks, alcohol, and heavy caffeine on an empty stomach. If your blood pressure runs low and you get dizzy when standing, you may benefit from a light electrolyte drink in the morning, and you should be cautious with strong beet drinks or anything that lowers pressure further. If you have diabetes or prediabetes, the big rule is avoid liquid sugar, juice, sweetened health drinks, sweetened yogurt drinks, and fancy coffee drinks, and focus on drinks that don't spike glucose, water, tea, diluted options, and protein-based drinks with fiber. If constipation and bloating are your biggest issues, focus on warm fluids, Kefir, ginger tea, and consistent hydration spread through the day, not one big chug. And if you're on diuretics, the key is to ask your clinician about electrolyte balance, because sometimes people over-restrict salt and then wonder why they cramp, feel weak, or have irregular heartbeats. Finally, here are the fast rules that make all of this work without overthinking. Don't drink huge amounts at once. Sip across the day. Always pair caffeine with food. Treat juice like dessert, not hydration. Use electrolytes lightly and strategically, not constantly. And if a drink makes you dizzy, jittery, or disrupts your sleep, that's your body giving you feedback, so adjust the dose and timing. And if you want an easy starting point, pick just 2 upgrades for the next 7 days: morning mineral water or light electrolytes, and 1 gut support drink midday like kefir or ginger tea. Then add the others only if you actually need them. In the last part, I'll give you a simple 7-day starter plan with exact amounts, plus the warning signs that mean you should stop and talk to your doctor, like swelling, sudden weight changes, shortness of breath, or persistent dizziness. Because hydration after 60 is powerful, but it needs to be smart and safe.